y'all get over to Patreon. We put some fire up there today. We're gonna be dealing with the African deities, or lion deities that were deified in ancient India. It's a powerful, powerful piece. Got new exclusive membership videos up for General Seti YouTube page, Sarasu Seti YouTube page. Make sure you check them out. You feel me? Uh, KingSeti.com, online marketplace, all your official t-shirts, hoodies, got it for your family, African and Kemetic jewelry. Make sure you get a video a thumbs up, like it because you love it, and share it with your family and friends. And hey, we got some links in the chat. Most definitely support the general, and let's go to work, man. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous, man. That it's just certain people that we venerate, you know, without really truly knowing who they really are, you know, who they really are. Nah, I had to get into I've been into the discussion of all this comedic Rastafarianism and Rastafarianism in general. Okay, Rastafarianism in general. What it is, what it ain't, you know. And let me be real, some of my earliest friends in the conscious community were Rastafarians. They were real good peoples. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of times, we be a part of religions and ideologies, and we don't even be knowing what the fuck what we a part of. We just, we had a bare minimum understanding of what the fuck we a part of. You feel me? And and people being shocked sometimes when they find out what it really is. And some of them, try to sweep the shit up under the rug, and that's not good. Cause at the end of the day, truth come back to haunt your ass. You see, and so sometimes it's best to just go ahead and deal with it. Deal with the truth. So I had to, I'm looking at, well, why did Marcus Garvey rebuke Haile Selassie? Niggas is in there, why did Marcus Garvey rebuke Haile Selassie? Because it came a point where Marcus cut into Haile Selassie. And I say, well, shit, and I say, I had to think about it, and they say it was because Haile Selassie fled Ethiopia at a time when the Italians was attacking Ethiopia, and so yeah, how Marcus Garvey got on his head about that. Like, you can't, how you gonna flee flee Ethiopia? You supposed to galvanize the diaspora to your aid. You see what I'm saying? To help you. And he didn't do that. He wasn't able to do that, and he fled. And the Italians, they were in there for some years. I don't know how long they was in there, but they was in there for a minute. They didn't totally colonize the country. They were primarily in the major cities, and they were primarily in the major cities. They didn't have the whole country, you know. And so I say, well, damn, I'm thinking in terms of Marcus Garvey. Maybe, maybe the heat was so hot that he had to flee. He had to flee to try to get some help or something. Maybe that's what he was doing, but that's not what it was. Okay. Let me see. Welcome to live. Remember to guard your by community. Okay. Okay. We're in the house. Let me make sure. Let me make sure I'm Gucci. Let me make sure I'm Gucci on the other side. Okay. Okay. If you out there, drop me something in my chat to let me know you're in the house. If you out there, drop something in the chat to let me know you're in the house. Okay, I see. All right. There we go. Just want to make sure everything working and shit. All right. And so yeah, so I say, well, let me dig deeper. Let me dig deeper into why Marcus Garvey cut into Haile Selassie. You see, and so I started to do research. And so they saying that Marcus Garvey rebuked Haile Selassie. Listen to me. Marcus Garvey rebuked Haile Selassie primarily for being a slave master and for fleeing Ethiopia during the Italian invasion. And so I'm thinking to myself, slave master, what does that mean? Garvey was critical of Selassie for his rule, which included the practice of slavery abolished in 1942. And for what Garvey saw as an abdication of duty in failing to rally the diaspora during the 1935 Italian invasion. He also described Selassie as a coward for leaving his country during the conflict. You see, Akron in the house. Akron in the house. That's right. Yeah. These motherfuckers was practicing slavery. That's why Dr. Ben was on his head. He talked about that. Ethiopia was enslaving other Africans. Do y'all understand that? They were enslaving other Africans. Garvey condemned Selassie for maintaining slavery in Ethiopia, a practice that continued even after the Italian invasion. He argued that black people in the Western Hemisphere who had experienced the horrors of slavery should not support a system that enslaved their own people. Man, boy, this motherfucker here, boy. You know what? I used to kind of, reserve criticism of Haile Selassie because, you know what I'm saying? I tried to reserve criticism. But as I get deeper and deeper off into the history of who he was and what, and I knew that they had a caste system. I didn't understand it to that level that they had slavery. I understood that they had a caste, but this motherfucker had slavery. Ethiopia was enslaving other African people, in southern Ethiopia, western regions of Ethiopia. This is crazy. I wonder if Ethiopia is supporting Sudan and what they, Yeah, them motherfucking Janjaweed and what they doing in southern Sudan. I wonder how if they are supporting that. You see? Yeah, so the Italian Garvey criticized Haile Selassie for fleeing Ethiopia in 1935 when Italy invaded, and for not using the opportunity to more effectively mobilize the black diaspora for support. Garvey famously called Selassie a great coward for abandoning his people during the invasion. In his own words, Garvey stated it was preferable for the Obsidian Negroes and the Negroes of the world to work for the restoration and freedom of the country without the assistance of Selassie, because at best he is but a slave master. Damn. And niggas out here got enough nerve to say, I see these niggas out here, y'all, these niggas is fake. These niggas, I heard nigga was, in had his panties and, had his panties on, talking about Marcus Garvey cutting the Holly, a Rastafarian. Oh, Rastafarian. Yeah. Say he was, when Garvey cut, and say his teachers and shit told him that Garvey cut into, yeah, so now I see now. I see now. Yeah, this is very critical here. You know. So Ethiopia, and so I looked up, I say, well, what kind of slaves, who were they enslaving? So it says, I asked the question, Ethiopia had slavery. I just AI'd it. Yes, slavery existed in Ethiopia for centuries. For centuries. Yeah. Yeah. They had listen, only officially abolished in 1942. They kept slavery longer than some of the Arab countries. Damn, they kept slavery longer than some of the Arab countries. Although the practice continued illegally in some areas until the 1970's. Although the practice continued illegally in some areas until the 1970's. It was a widespread institution with slaves used for manual labor, and the legacy of slavery continues to be felt even today. Okay. It's saying slavery existed in Ethiopia since at least the Aksumite Empire, with records indicating the export of slaves from the region. Okay. So they just like the Arab. So they literally practicing like the Arab. They literally, I mean, that's the way I see it. They literally acting like the Arabs. They acting as an Arab in that instance. Yeah. Listen, the institution was deeply integrated into Ethiopian society with tens of thousands of people in bondage, and some estimates suggesting as many, as 400,000 in the early 1930s. That's why they all into that Habashas and all that damn, all that Sabaean shit. But see, I told the truth on their ass. They not the true Ethiopians, and that's why I told y'all that shit. I told y'all, I told y'all that. I told y'all that the Sudanese is the original Ethiopia. The black, so they done flipped the script. They done did, but see, that's where, when you read Chancellor Williams, now it's coming to light. Because he said, and I'm going to just say what it is. He said the mixed breed children of Africa traded on Africa. You see, and they literally switch places with the pure bloods. Let's just say what it is. Let's just say what it is. And they stole just like the Coptics. You see, just like the Coptics. Just like the Coptics. Just like the Coptics. Just like the Coptics, and here it is, the Habashas. And you see, this is crazy. This is fucking crazy. I did not know this. That they had slavery that, to that extent. I knew they had that religious caste system where they thought that they was, of the bloodline, and they believe in that Hermetic, which still play into that. They believe in that curse of Canaan. They believe in the Hermetic, Shemitic, Yafa story, you see, and they use that as a means to justify what they doing, saying God, justified the slavery, Canaan, and so on and so forth. This is crazy. Emperor Haile Selassie officially abolished slavery in 1942 following a series of earlier laws and international pressure that were largely ineffective. However, the practice continued in some areas until the 1970s, as which we said. I'm going to take a deeper dive into this. So it's saying that the peoples, I put in there what peoples were enslaved in Ethiopia. So they saying the Neolites. Nilotic, Oromo peoples. The Oromo peoples was also enslaved. You see, the Oromo peoples was also enslaved. So you talking about basically some of the same ones that's in Southern Sudan. Ain't that what's going on right now in Southern Sudan? Those are some of those peoples. Our peoples, you see, Nilotic. You see, and so the practice involved raiding for captives. Ain't that what the Janjaweed do? Which often targets specific ethnic groups, while other sources of enslaved people include debt, tribute, and criminal activities. And so they got this one tribe that they call the Shanquella. Okay, they were enslaved. Shanquella, who were captured and raised. That's the same thing that the Ganja weed is doing. No wonder Ethiopia don't say shit. No wonder they don't say shit. They don't say shit. Yeah, that damn war been going on and Ethiopia ain't said a fucking word as far as I. So they involved in that, man. Yeah. Yeah, they involved in that. Let me see if I can get. Shine Quad. Let me see. Tribe. The darker skinned Africa, the Nubians. Let's just say what it is. You saying the darkest, the Nubians. I mean, the Nubians. These motherfuckers tripping, man. Yeah, they tripping. They tripping. Yeah, they tripping. I'm gonna show y'all. These are considered the Nilotic. You know what I'm saying? Some of the indigenous peoples of the Nile. So yeah. They enslaved. So ain't that what's going on in Sudan right now? That's exactly what's going on in Sudan. Man, listen here. Listen here, dog. Motherfuckers got to quit glamorizing this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? People got a certain fascination, but ain't nobody making these people tell the fucking truth of what's really going on and who these peoples is. These are not the originals. Some of them motherfuckers is inbred with that Arab and they think like an Arab, man. Real talk. They think just like an Arab, man. Real talk. All that goddamn Sabine and all that, which they not the original Sabians. They have hijacked the original cultures of the land, man. They have hijacked that. They are not the original peoples. Their minds have been polluted, and you understand with much of that damn that Arab blood, and they think like an Arab. Real talk, real talk. And the aroma. Let me get y'all a picture of the aroma. Yeah, that's crazy. Oh hell no. Mm-mm. So they didn't enslave the aroma. They tripping. Yeah, they tripping for real. Let me see if I can get let me see if I can get a better picture than that. Let me see if I can get a better picture than that. Hold on, y'all. Cause there's some shit going on over there right now. Uh there's some shit going on over there right now. Where Ethiopia is in the war right now. I wonder what's going on. This is the Oromo people. So they enslaved them too. Yeah, they enslaved black power to all my family out there. Boy, I wonder why Dr. Ben was on their motherfucking head. Dr. Ben went off on Haile Selassie, man. Man, Rastafarian, now I know, now I see why this nigga out here running off at his guns. Cause he a perpetrator. And all these other niggas is perpetrators too. You see what I'm saying? Talking about Garvey, talking about Dr. Ben and shit. Yeah, no wonder. Look at what's going on. And the crazy ass thing about it, these niggas idolize a slave. They deified a slave master. Yeah, they deified a slave master. Whoo. Yeah. Yeah, we most definitely got to do some more deeper research into this. Marcus Garvey was Marcus Garvey was calling their ass out. See, now I see. Yeah. Now I see. I see what's going on. Let me see. Let me see what tribe. And they want to be talking that bullshit where they talking about they from Solomon, you know. They the royal tribe. You see? The tribe of Judah. Oh, hell no. Yeah, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap. It's a wrap on their ass. Yeah. I think they coming in, they feel the presence. That's why they didn't give a fuck about, man, listen, how they got Haile Selassie up out of there, man. Haile Selassie in there sitting on thrones of gold while the peoples was out there starving. You see what I'm saying? He in there and they done shot his palace up and all that shit. Man, they got rid of their ass. Yeah, famine. They starved them people, man. Starved the people. He in there with gold thrones and all lavish living and shit, man. Oh, man, that's sad. Do y'all know they found his bones under the fucking toilet? They found his bones under the toilet in one of the palaces. You see? They put the man bones up under the toilet. That's crazy. I'm not done with this. I'm going to do some more research on this right here, family. I'll be right back. Don't go nowhere. We coming right back with some informative information. You already know what it is. Make sure y'all get over there. Patreon. We drop some new fire on Patreon. We drop 2 exclusive videos, General SETI membership. If you got the membership, we got some fire up there waiting on you. And Sarasun SETI YouTube page. We got exclusive membership videos that we went live today, uploaded. If you're a member, most definitely get over there and get that work. I'll be right back. Arm yourself, get a video, share this, family. Share it. The ancestors is opening up the third eye, sending me over here to get this information. I want to share it with the world. Be right back, family. Arm yourself with knowledge. Bang on that wicked ass beast daily. Liberation through African education and confrontation. Boom. Black power.